Okay, welcome to Merry Creepmas. Thank you, Loula from Nerd Goblin Art, for doing this wonderful collab. Check the link in the description box for the whole playlist. This is what started my wanting to do a YouTube video. Nerdy Crafter Jackie had this on her channel, and I've been looking everywhere for many gummy bear molds, and I found them. Aren't they adorable? Plus, look at all the other fun stuff in here. Let's play. And then, when I found this, I knew exactly what I wanted to do for this Creepmas make. So I started making a bunch of little candy so I could mold it. And I made the molds. See that? It's kind of janky, but then here's all the tiny little molds that I got from Miniverse. Now I'm rolling out the cookie, well, the polymer clay. This is all my scrap clay, so it's nice and tough, and no matter how much I conditioned it, it was still super duper hard to roll out. But I was trying. I'm pushing, and I'm rolling, and I'm moving, but that parchment paper is fighting me, so I finally used my belly to hold it, and I'm rubbing and rolling, and it's coming. It's getting flatter, but I'm getting there. I'm sure the cookie cutters are coming soon. Okay, we're getting there. It's nice and rolled flat. All right, you can do it. Okay, here we go. Here's the cookie cutter. So we got to cut it, but because these cutters aren't the greatest, they're not like normal cookie cutters, they're a lot thicker. So I had to then flip it over and use the rolling pin to press it through just a little bit more. Right here, see, there we go. Just to make it have a cleaner cut. It still wasn't perfect, and I'm going to have to fix it after it bakes. But I got it out, and it's the shape. And here we go. So now I'm gonna, no, I'm not brushing the teeth. I'm gonna stipple it. I want to actually put texture so it looks kind of like a real cookie. I'm not great at this part, but I wanted it to at least look a little bit better. So see, you can kind of see, there's the texture on there. Sort of, yeah, Cindy, hold it better. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna throw them onto the pan so we can get them into the oven. Get these little guys baked, and then we can start playing with all the other fun stuff. So here's the paint that I'm going to be using to paint the cookies, because I used all of my scrap clay and I wanted to get rid of all of that. And plus, trying to make brown is a lot harder than it looks. So here we go. I've got my cookies, and I'm going to brush the paint onto these guys. Well, no, first, here we go. First, I'm going to sand off all these extra little funky looking edges, because, like I said, the cookie cutters weren't the greatest. But they worked, and they gave me the inspiration, because look at these poor guys. They've lost limbs and heads, and it's terrible. I'm a sick individual, but it's fun. I've had these for years and years, and I've never even cut a single cookie, real cookie, out of them. But I knew they'd be perfect for this time. And plus, what's more fun, cookies or crafting? Well, that's a hard decision. Both. I picked both. All right, now I'm finally gonna paint and eat. I still couldn't find the right brown, so I had to mix both this espresso and berry, and then I had to add some orange, and then I added some red, and I won't make you sit here and watch the whole thing because that's boring. So we're gonna kind of stir this. I'm holding the camera, so it's hard for me to do it one-handed. So we're gonna pause so I can finish. Now we're going to paint the cookies. So here I'm brushing it onto the cookie, and then I'm going to stipple the paint down to make it look more with the cookie texture, because you kind of lose it a little bit once I put the paint over it. But they still came out pretty cute, and they're the right color finally. I wanted a darn gingerbread color. You can't really tell because my lighting's not the greatest, and I apologize for that. But someday I'll get a better setup. I need to figure this YouTube situation out. Now, now we're gonna make the next part. I'm pouring UV resin into this glass that I decorated with some fun little holiday stickers, wintry themed. They match the next part. Sorry, the camera's bouncing and bouncing and bouncing. I think I hit the thing my camera's held onto. And I'm just using the cheap white from, I believe I got it from Michael's. All my craft supplies are old. I haven't bought anything new in years and years. Now I have, but before I started doing all of this, I really didn't buy anything. I haven't done any crafting in about 10 years. My mom, my crafting buddy, after she passed away, it kind of became not fun anymore. But I've started again and I'm loving it, and most of it's due to everybody here on YouTube. They've just inspired me so, so much. So now I'm mixing the milk and I'm putting more UV resin in just to get this to look like a milk consistency. I want it to look like somebody came and drank the milk from our cookie platter, because these are cookies for Santa. So here we go. And of course, I poured the ink right down the side of the cup. The last thing I wanted to do, even though I'm going to be pouring the milk up the side of the cup, I needed the ink in the resin, not on the cup. So frustrating. Gotta make a mess. And of course, I forgot to wear my gloves. I know I'm supposed to be wearing my gloves. Stop the commenting. I know, gloves, gloves. But I truly, truly thought I was not going to get this on my hands. It was supposed to stay in the cup, right? It's supposed to stay in the cup, isn't it? Well, that didn't happen, as you're going to see. So now I'm pouring it up the side of the cup so it looks like it was actually drank. And you're going to see right here is where I went, oh geez, I should have put my gloves on. But of course I didn't. So now I'm going to have resin on my hands. Then comes baby wipes. Then comes the alcohol. Then comes the cussing. But I made sure I cut all of that out. That's why I'm doing the voiceover, because there was a lot of cussing during this. Okay, I'm getting there. Okay, see, now it looks like milk is going up the side of it. Good girl, clean it up. But this is where the resin gets on my hands. Gosh darn it. Okay, well, now I gotta put in the UV lamp. But because I don't have the greatest setup and because I'm not used to this, I drop the camera. And then I hold it upside down for a minute because I'm not paying attention to the camera, I'm paying attention to the glass. And there's a close-up of my fingers just because, you know, seemed like a good idea. Yeah, okay, I'm telling myself that. But I'm curing the milk, and then I just went, screw it with the camera. I had to cure it. So here's the little baby cookies that I cut out. Then I put all the candy on there, forgot to hit record. I'm sorry about that, but I decorated the cookies and I put them back in the oven to bake. So now, here they come out of the oven, and it's time for them to look like they get dunked in milk. Because, I mean, hello, that's what you have to do. Dunk your cookies in milk. Even Santa would do that, wouldn't he? But for some reason, he chose to not finish the cookies. Maybe they didn't taste good? I don't know. But I tried. I tried to cook hard. Or cook well. Not hard. Well. Excuse my stumbling. It is my first video. But I appreciate you sticking with me and watching this. So now I'm sticking it under the lamp and curing it, and I'm going to do the rest of the cookies. Now here's all the tiny candy that I made, and I'm going to add to my creation. The little pixie sticks and the ring pops and a donut and the sprinkles. And I made chocolate and rock candy and suckers. There's a toothpick for scale. Look, I made gummies, gummy worms, gummy frog, gummy bears. I found little bells. There's Jolly Ranchers, Pez. That Pez container or Pez dispenser actually works. And here's some glitter sparkles. And here is the sheer amount of candy I made. I don't know how many projects I thought I was going to do. Now, here comes the gore. I'm sorry everyone, but now we're going to bloody this up because they were bitten. They have to bleed. Something, you know, everybody bleeds. I guess even cookies? But it's fun. I actually used an ink that was called Dove's Blood ink. So it looks real, and oh boy, did I make a mess. But I actually had a lot of fun doing this, and that's supposed to be like icing is coming out of them too. Gotta make it look bloody and gory, and oh, these poor little guys, they've seen things. Especially that one with the big eyes. He has seen things. But, you know, it's kind of scary being a cookie. Who knows what's going to happen? I mean, the guy that saw things, look at, he's got gumdrop buttons. He's worried about his buttons. Not my gumdrop buttons. So I'm just going to keep adding all of this different little things and layers. Unfortunately, it gets covered up by all the candy, so you can't really see it in the final product, but I'm glad I recorded this part. I forgot to hit record on so many things. I'm so sorry about that. But still, here I'm adding more blood, and then I finally just decided to go for it. I mean, it's not going to be neat when there's mayhem and carnage, so I just decided I'm going to pour it everywhere and make a big old mess and just have fun. But look, I remembered gloves. Thank goodness, finally. I tried. So here we go, and now I'm going to cure it. And I just keep doing that, adding more and curing it. Here's the Dove's Blood ink. I wanted to show you what the aftermath looked like. Oh my goodness. And I have a bloody heart because, of course, it went past my gloves. So now I'm going to do the little tedious work of adding all the candy. I mixed in what I made to look like crumbles of cookies and with some what looks like icing, and I did the glitter sparkles because, of course, they're going to bleed glitter. Cookies bleed glitter, don't they? And now, as I'm going to add all of these candies, I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody. Everybody here on YouTube has been so wonderful. And see, I'm still adding, but I think now I'm going to read from my script because I don't want to forget anything. Forgive me if I stumble a bit because reading is kind of hard, reading and talking. But I want to thank everyone here on YouTube for all their knowledge and support. I've watched thousands of videos over the years, so I can't thank everyone, but I do want to highlight the resin community. Because of all the wonderful replies to the comments that I've made some really good friends. Loula, of course, from Nerd Goblin Art, our collab host. Again, check the link for the Merry Creepmas playlist. And now I'm on screen. I'm actually doing the final layer. I apologize. I don't know my camera angles. And I proceed to film the one thing that I'm not doing. Okay, now I'm going to get back to my script. Make sure you watch everyone's videos for the Creepmas playlist. Now I want to do some special thanks. Nikki and Kurt from Kernix Creations, Andy from CCUK, Janet and Chris from The Crafty Rat, Steph from Highland Homemade Crafts, Karen from The Dragon's Cave, Bex, Nikki, Butch, and Tim. I'm sorry I can't remember your channels, but they're everyone in the Goblin Cave Discord. They're so wonderful. And of course, I saved the best for last, my bestie Georgia, who sent me resin to get me restarted on crafting. I'm so lucky we've been friends for 40 years. 40 years. My goodness, Cindy, I can talk. But I love you all, everybody. Thank you so much. This is a little ladybug, especially for my mom. And here's the final result. Isn't it horrible? The carnage. But it was so much fun. And there's a special note for Santa. I don't know if you saw. I don't have children, so this was hard to write, but look at who actually arrived. Krampus. I wonder what he did. Who knows, but there's a bloody handprint and all of that blood. Thank you again for watching my very first video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'll be doing more videos now that I've officially broken my YouTube cherry, but no schedule yet, so you might want to hit the notification bell too. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Don't forget to check out everybody in the Merry Creepmas playlist. Check the description box.